Hello and good morning to everybody on this really beautiful March day. I woke up early this morning to film a March garden tour video, and the first section I want to start in my garden are the containers. These have been so fun to watch over the last few months and weeks. They've really been transforming quickly. So I guess I'll start with these since I made videos about these. I think if you watched like the how to plant a bulb lasagna video, these two containers were it. And in here we have hyacinths and tulips, and as you could see, the hyacinths are kind of on their way out. I'll make sure to overlay some footage of when they were still, kind of at their peak, I guess you could say. But yeah, it's really nice to see how, although these are on their way out, the tulips are really now just coming in, except for this one, which kind of snapped. I'm not sure what happened there. Okay, in this one we have, I believe this is either the Juanita daffodil or the red Devon. I don't remember, but I'll put it right here. We also have some tulips in here, and this is actually really interesting to see. I think when I was filming this video, I said that the irises were going to be one of the first to come up, along with like the yellow crocuses. That definitely didn't happen, as you could see, because this is actually, I think, the second day that I'm seeing the irises. So it's really interesting to see. I was expecting things to come up at different times, but everything kind of just came up when it wanted to. The snapdragons are doing so amazing. That was just an experiment. I planted them over the top of the bulbs, which isn't exactly recommended, but I just wanted to see how they do, and they did amazing. So if you live in an area where it gets really cold in the winter, these are supposed to be like tolerant to frost, and it barely ever rains in the summer, so I love like just putting seeds in the ground in the winter and just letting nature take care of the watering. It makes it a lot less work for me. The first thing I want to mention is I absolutely love the fact that I planted violas on the bottom of these containers, because seeing the violas, like they look like it looks like it's a little like sunshine happy face, doesn't it? And in here too we have like, I think in here I planted like a cool blue series in here. I don't know, it looks like we have like some yellow and purple ones, and as you can see there's one kind of like peeking out. It's so cute. But yeah, definitely a very highly recommended if you have spring containers. Make sure to put viola seeds on the bottom of them, because the violas are supposed to do like okay through the winter. They're supposed to flower through the winter. Mine didn't, but I think that's because I maybe planted them just a little bit too late. These are either pink or red impression tulips. They're supposed to be perennial. That's really why I purchased them. I like to buy things that are, I plant one time and they grow year after year after year. So come back next year to see if they return, and if they do, then how they return. I also have some other peony tulips I want to show you that are on their second year, and I was so shocked they came back. So stay tuned to see those. Okay, this here is the pink charm daffodil. This is my first year planting it, and I really love the way that it looks. It has like a soft pink center and white petals, and I think it looks really nice with like those yellow daffodils in the background. The crocuses, they didn't do well because we had a lot of rain, and the rain really came down, and they kind of just like all started looking like this very quickly, so we didn't get to enjoy the crocuses for very long. I love on this side, you could see the violas here too. I love the yellow and the purple. Okay, so the sun is slowly starting to come up. It's still early morning, and as soon as the sun hits these African daisies, this is just going to be a field of purple. You could kind of see a peony. That's the Carl Rosenfeld peony. It's on its like, I don't know, maybe third, fourth, fifth year. I'm definitely hoping to get some flowers on this one, whereas that is on its second year, and there's another teeny tiny one coming up out of the ground. These are on their second year. I'm not really expecting anything, but hopefully something happens there this year. This is the Crossvine and the Trumpet vine. This is about to bloom, which is really exciting to see the change of seasons. Okay, And now this is what I was talking about earlier. This is the Peony Tulip, and I was so surprised when I saw this coming back because I thought that this was only like an annual tulip. I didn't think it would come back. I thought if it came back it wouldn't be as strong. But it has been so fun to see these bloom. Like I've been seeing on like some social media sites some of my friends posting, and it seems like everybody's super into the peony tulips, and you know, I could see why they're super into them. I love the way they look. Even when they open up, they still look beautiful, as opposed to some of the single tulips. When they open up, they kind of just look like they're done. So I guess peony tulips, you could say they kind of have a longer lasting life, just because they tend to look really beautiful even long after they open. And here you could see a little teeny tiny peony coming up. This one is also in its second year. There's another one in here. And I'll make sure to overlay some footage of when the replete daffodils were still looking really beautiful. Here we also have another double tulip, double tulip, or a peony tulip. Freesias. If you don't have freesias in your garden, you have to plant them. They are just the most amazing smelling flowers. And I have a lot of hope for this peony here. It's just now starting to kind of wake up and come out of the ground. I mentioned in my April garden tour that I'm super excited about some bleeding hearts that I had. And as you can see, the bleeding hearts are not coming up, and I don't know what's wrong. Maybe they're not going to come back. Maybe this is just not the right soil, not the right climate for them. Let me know if you've ever struggled with bleeding hearts coming back in your garden. Now I love, love, love this area because this is where the lilac is, and if I could get it to focus, the sensation lilac is starting to wake up. So that's always really fun to see. This here is a tulip that I also planted 2 years ago, so this is its second year coming back, and as you could see, most of them kind of just look like this. There's no flower. Again, there's no flower, so I guess not all tulips come back. That's normal. Tulips are usually annual flowers, so the fact that those double peony tulips came back is really amazing to see. Alright, in this area we have the pink azalea, we have the hydrangea that's starting to wake up, we have, I believe this is like called the red firebird azalea. It looks pink to me this morning. I'm not sure why they call it red. And this azalea, which has been here for over 20 years, it doesn't look like it's doing so well. Maybe I'm gonna have to cut it out, which is unfortunate. All right, and now let's move to the area of the garden that I am, honestly, you guys, like the most excited about. This is probably the thing that I'm most proud to show you. These are ranunculus bulbs that I planted. I actually planted them 2 years ago. I left to Europe when they were about to flower, so they all died right away. This past fall, I noticed that there's little sprouts in them, and I was so shocked to see. So it's been super interesting to see these ranunculus come back, because most people do treat ranunculus as annuals, but again, this is the second year that they're coming back. And the really funny thing is that this red ranunculus, like, I did not purchase this, so I think there was just a couple of red ones thrown in, but that's okay because I think that the purple and red look so beautiful together. Like, I don't mind. Maybe I should harvest these and make like a ranunculus and daffodil bouquet this morning. Here's some other ranunculus plants that are, I guess, in an earlier stage. These were also planted 2 years ago. The really interesting thing is this was supposed to be like a white and purple ranunculus, but honestly it looks more like an anemone. As you can see, some of the ranunculus are turning yellow. I never know if that means they have too much water or not enough water. I'm really really excited because these look like they're going to be really beautiful, strong plants. You could see a couple of blooms, so those are more ranunculus. Okay, these ranunculus I planted on a super rainy day about a month ago, and they're just now kind of starting to come out of the ground and peek out. These are the festival mix. They're like these really beautiful flowers with green centers, and I'm super excited to see how these do. These are anemones. I don't have that much luck with anemones, but there is a teeny tiny plant coming out of the ground there. I planted these super late. I should have planted them earlier. And now here are some more ranunculus. I love these. Are like a soft yellow. Maybe this is a white. This is maybe like a white and this one's maybe a yellow. But these have been super interesting to watch over the last few weeks. All right, there's not much else to see except for geraniums here. Love, love, love geraniums. They're super simple, but I mean, look at how this looks. I didn't do anything to this all winter. But yeah, I love the color that geranium brings. And this is some sweet alyssum. I wanted to cut it off earlier, but as you can see, there's like some bugs that have kind of like made this their home. I forget what these bugs are called, but I think they're beneficial insects. Anyways, that's what I'm telling myself. So the fact that they're here, I'm not cutting the sweet alyssum off yet. But hopefully I'll be able to do that within the next few weeks once the bugs are gone. This has been one of the most fun things to watch in the garden. This is the Scilla Peruviana, also known as like Portuguese squill or Peruvian lily. Ever since I put it into the ground, it started growing like these green leaves. If you watched my how to grow Scilla Peruviana video, like it's just been so fun. So if you live in a zone 8, 9, 10 or up, definitely consider planting these in your yard. I even love that the way that they open. They start by opening, going like from the outside to the inside. And they're not like a one and done. I believe I cut, yeah, so if you could see, I did cut off of that one and see it did shoot like another stem up. So they're not like a one and done. They do bloom multiple times. But yeah, some of this area needs a little bit of work. Let's see, what else can I show you that's really interesting right now? Oh yes, my Amaryllis. Okay, this is an outdoor Amaryllis that I planted, and it is about to flower. I guess you could say it's kind of in the middle of flowering. It's been super interesting because I never planted Amaryllis outdoors. Again, I'm in a zone 9, and if you live in a zone 9, they're supposed to be okay to plant outside. I have planted Amaryllis indoors before only, and it's super interesting to watch because this has been so much slower to grow and open than the indoor Amaryllis. I think that's because it has to do with the temperature. Outside has been cooler, whereas, you know, inside it's 70 degrees or higher. So I also have a couple more here. This one I'm so bad, I literally just put that in the ground, I think like a week or 2 weeks ago. Well, I screwed up. I kept it in the box too long, but when I put it in the ground, it was like a light green color, and now it's like this red color. So that's been interesting to watch. I hope that these perennialize. I was really worried when I was putting them in the ground that we were gonna have like a late frost, and the frost was just gonna take them out. But luckily that didn't happen. They're still here. There was no frost, and I'm kind of curious to see what'll happen when a frost does come next year. All right, and I'm thinking now let's move to the front. So the first thing I want to show you is the avocado tree. This avocado tree is, I think, about 10-11 years old now. We planted it here in 2015, and as you could see, like, these avocados are just about ready to go. I honestly have no idea when to harvest them. I forgot what kind of avocado tree this is, and it's just super interesting to see because these are fruit from last year, so they've been hanging here all winter, whereas these here, these are going to be like this year's flowers and fruit. So I'm really excited to see what's going to happen with the avocado tree. We had like 5 avocados this year. There's like another one back there. I'm not sure if you could see it. Oh, this little area here has some daffodils that I've tried for the first year. This here is the RIP. I don't know if it's RIP Van Winkle or Rip Van Winkle, but I loved this one when I saw it online. It has like these spiky petals, and I had no idea that it was going to be kind of like a miniature daffodil. This here is another type of miniature daffodil. I forgot what it was called, but I'll put in the information. I think it's really beautiful. I like it. I think it's cute. All right, we planted these together in a garden with me video, and I remember at that time I was saying, like, if I don't get these in the ground, I'll never have flowers. So we got them in the ground, and here we have flowers. These are some Calla Lilies that were planted so many years ago. I think like 20 years ago. Love to see those. In a garden with me video, we also were cleaning up this peony, like cutting off the old stems. This is like the 2nd year that it's here in this location. The peony itself is probably around 5 years, but it didn't bloom ever because I think it was just not getting enough sun where I had it prior. So hopefully it gets like filtered sun here, not that much, but hopefully it blooms eventually. Freesias. Again, if you don't have freesias in your garden, I would highly recommend putting some in. I love the smell. I love the way that they look. Look at how that looks. It's so pretty. There's 2 more areas that I want to show you. The first is this area, which we planted together. We have some King Alfred type daffodils. We have the pink charm daffodil, which I love, and I don't think I showed you this one yet. This here is the orangery daffodil. I love the way like orangery and pink charm look together. I learned about the orangery daffodil from a book called Cut Flower Garden. You probably heard of it, but in here we have more of the pink impression Darwin type tulips, which are supposed to be perennial. And in here too, I had the tallest stem of this King Alfred type daffodil. Like, I think this is like 2 feet tall. I've never seen a daffodil so tall in my life. Here's some iris bulbs that I thought were gonna die. Here is my Hellebore. This one here is the Hellebore Aurealis white. I love the way that it looks, and I love that it's such a low maintenance shade plant. I've been trying to work on my shade garden. The Hellebore is a great addition to a shade garden. I also planted a hosta root. You could kind of see, do you see that little purple stem coming out of the ground? That's supposed to be a hosta. I love that the stem is like purple and then the leaves come out like this variegated white and green color. This here is a bleeding heart. I do have another bleeding heart. I'll overlay some footage here in a container that I planted just a couple of weeks ago. That one does have some flowers on it. And some daffodils that I planted late. I love that the King Alfred daffodil is always the first one to come up. But yeah, I guess we'll wrap up the video here. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching this video. Thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you have a great day in your gardens, and I hope you're enjoying the spring. Hope you're enjoying the spring just as much as I am.